welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Sideline. My name is Rishi.
My name's Asher Heyer.
We got a great episode lined up. We're going to start with the NBA, where this is probably going to be one of our shorter episodes because we're not going to talk for an hour about how the Broncos stink. But we're going to start off with something equally as depressing, which is the Nuggets. And it's not depressing because they're bad. It's depressing because everyone is dead. MPJ, as news came out yesterday after they lost the Suns, the MPJ is out for the season, probably with nerve damage in his back, which is likely just due to the two surgeries he already had, and that just, it's just not healing properly. So that was a really dark time for Nuggets fans. I haven't felt that depressed since Murray tore his ACL. Like, in terms of just dark times for sports, like I haven't. Those are the two most depressed I've felt, because when you look at the future of the Nuggets, you're thinking championship when everyone's fully healthy. But if MPJ is hurt, then that championship window shrinks dramatically, and the possibility is much worse.
Yeah, it's just no one's been healthy. I think this will alter his career forever, really. He's going to be so worried about his back. Like, it seemed like he had kind of broken out of this last year, the hesitancy and everything. I mean, it was like his back was no longer an issue, and then all of a sudden it flares up in the beginning of this year. Apparently he's been playing with an injured back this entire year, and then he finally completely tweaked it against the Cavs, I think it was, where he went up for the dunk and just couldn't jump at all. And yeah, it's sad. It's sad what he has to go through. He's probably going to get a surgery. This is going to be his third back surgery with all this talent. Dude, 6'10", that can dribble, that can shoot like that. That can shoot like Klay Thompson pretty much. I mean, I feel bad for him, and it's just sad.
It really sucks. In terms of the bigger picture for the Nuggets, it sucks, but I feel even worse just for him. Like you said, he's just so talented, and when you look back at him in high school, he was the most athletic guy in high school. He was the most skilled guy in high school. He was the number one pick, and then just these back issues that just keep cursing him, and his family in general just is ridiculous in terms of injuries. Like, his brother Jonte Porter has had 5 ACL tears or something ridiculous like that. Mm-hmm. Both of his sisters have also had injury history. His mom has an injury history. He has one. It's insane. It's the fact that right now the Nuggets have their 3 best players out, and no one really knows when any of them are going to come back. Like, Jokic, he's just such an Iron Man that when he's hurt, you have no clue what to do, because you're just not used to it. So if he's out for much longer, I have a crazy idea that I will propose to Tim Conley, because I know he watches our videos. What's up, Tim? Listen up. This is some huge knowledge coming up. So the Nuggets rest Jokic as much as possible, because we're not going to be very good if it's just him and nobody else. I think we're going to be competitive. We're going to win games. We'll be above 500 if it's just him without Murray and MPJ and everyone else is healthy. However, there is a loaded draft class coming up. If the Nuggets not tank, but if they can show that they're still competitive, like the Thunder last year. The Thunder, they weren't horrible last year until about February, when they shut Shai Gilgeous-Alexander down for most of the season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was he was injured and they rested him, but they realized we can't keep winning. So they just were just take a break. We're just going to let the young guys roll. And I think that's what the Nuggets should do, because without MPJ, there's no realistic championship expectation, with Jamal coming off an ACL tear. If MPJ is just out of the picture completely and Jamal is fully healthy, I think we can still win. But if Jamal's coming off an ACL tear and he's trying to rush back to health, it's just going to make him get hurt again. So just let Jamal fully rehab. Let him go out for the whole season. Just rest him. Obviously, to let MPJ get a surgery, get him healthy for next year. Rest Jokic as much as possible. just get the young guys, and there's not a lot of young guys on that team because it's a championship team, but younger guys like Zeke, Bodes, Marcus Howard, Flacco, and then throw in Aaron Gordon and Will Barton every once in a while just so we don't lose by 90, and then just tank because it's a very loaded draft class. We are talking about it earlier. You got guys like Chet Holmgren. You have guys like Jabari Smith. You have Jaden Ivey, who has been just insane. You have Paolo Banchero from Duke. There's a lot of like superstar talent coming up. So just a crazy idea. I think it can work.
Sad talk about this 17 games into the year, dude. Like, this was supposed to be like one of our years, dude. Like, damn. I think like back in like 2017, 2018, like people were like circling 2021 and 2022 as like the year for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
And I mean, even that, it's just like,
earliest.
I mean, is Michael Porter even going to like ever play again? Like, you don't know.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about, was the Clippers doctor right?
Yeah.
When he said that he might not be able to play again,
it's like,
was he correct?
if he never plays again, like, is he a bust?
I don't know.
I mean, not like a bust because
really good.
He went up 14, but it's like, did those teams that everyone clowned on and everything for passing on Porter, like after he went off last year, like were those teams actually in the right there? And it's like, they probably were. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like the Clippers picked Jerome Robinson. I mean, I'd rather have Michael Porter with a broken back than Jerome Robinson on my team. So, but
no,
I don't know.
I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I don't know. Like, his future is completely up in the air right now. Not just, for this season, but his career. Like, back problems, they don't
go away.
They don't go away. He's always going to have to deal with something like this. And I think, just at least from my understanding, is this is a result of what happened from his previous two surgeries. Because he got the first surgery, which is actually like freaking ridiculous. He got the first surgery 4 years to the day yesterday when the news came out, which is like insane. Like that's an insane coincidence.
So it's going to be like 3 surgeries in 4 years.
It'll be 3 surgeries in 4 or 5 years, which is nuts. But also, the second surgery he had after he got drafted was because the first surgery went wrong. Like there was something wrong after the first surgery. So to me, this third surgery he's going to have is because they didn't fix what happened first, which is just like, that's so unlucky. Like it's nothing he could have done like better. He didn't do anything wrong in his rehab process. It's just the doctors messed up 2 times, which is unheard of.
I mean, it's just like, this is the best team the Nuggets have ever had.
Yeah.
And just to have it come down to just injuries completely killing a like potential dynasty. I mean, it's annoying. It's very annoying.
And now, like, I don't even want to think about the possibility of this happening, but Jokic is a free agent next year. And I don't even want to think about it, but like if things go wrong in the next 12 to 14 months, like is he gone? And if he is, then like what the heck is the future of the Nuggets? Because you still have Jamal. I guess you still have MPJ. You still have Gordon, but like without Jokic, you're not winning.
Dude, there's no way Jokic leaves. Jokic is going to sign like the super max contract, whatever it is.
That is true. We can offer him like half the national debt that US has.
But, and even without Porter, I think this team is still championship contender. Yes. I mean, you still got Jamal Murray, Will Barton, who's creeping up in age, but he's playing really well. Aaron Gordon is playing really well.
Really good, yeah.
And hopefully Bones Highland can turn into something like maybe a future starter down the road once Barton is out. And Jokic, obviously the league MVP, top 3 player. Anytime you have a top 3 player like that, you're going to be in the championship window. And maybe Tim Connolly hits on another draft pick like it seems like he always does.
That's what I'm saying, especially because Denver doesn't have a first-round draft pick in 2023 or in 2025. I think the 2023 draft pick was used when we traded it for RJ Hampton originally in the draft. And then the 2025 one is when we traded for Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, we used 2 first-round picks for RJ Hampton, which is kind of funny to think about. But so those are the 2 first-rounders that we don't have for the next 5 years. This draft class is huge for us. So yeah, that's just what I'm like. If we don't make the playoffs, there's a possibility we can get like a potential star, like all-star in this draft because it's very, very loaded. Even if we make playoffs, we should draft Nikola Jokic. Just for the memes.
Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a good player. He's like,
I know he's projected like top 10, I think.
Just for the memes because he's Serbian and has literally the same name.
Jovic. So
I saw that he was Jonathan Givoni or the Draft Express guy on Twitter, and he does a lot of stuff for NBA draft, and he was talking about him, and I'm like, is this a typo? It's like, I go back in time. What's happening? I didn't realize that it was Jokic, and I didn't realize it was Jovic. He said Jokic for so long.
Funny. He's got like the accent on the C too.
Yeah, everything is the
exact same.
Instead of a K.
Dude, that's actually crazy. He plays for the same team Jokic played
for. He's with the Mega in the Adriatic League or whatever.
I think he's more known for like shooting, right?
Yeah, he's a wing, so he's like all around.
I mean, he's 6'10", though. He's our next Michael Porter, bro.
Yeah, he's our backup player.
In the 2021 EuroLeague Basketball Next Generation Tournament, he averaged 29 points a game, 10 rebounds, 4.5 assists, while shooting 66% from the field. Only 17% from 3, though. So
what did he shoot from the field? 57?
66.
From the field?
Yeah.
And he was shooting 17% from what the heck was he shooting from 2-point range? Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, is he a shooter? I don't know what he is.
I know that he has the potential. Like he has good performance stuff, but 17% is not great. That was my crazy theory. Like if we could just get a lottery pick for this year, just get like a superstar who could contribute next season in the draft, then we're like guaranteed a championship. But I know it's not going to happen, and it's realistically a very dumb idea because it's 17 games into the season. Like if this happened in like February or something, like I feel like it wouldn't even be thought of to be a crazy idea. But the fact it's happening before December is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's oh my god.
Just
it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. Like nothing. It's all Denver sports. They just have a curse. The Broncos sold the city's soul for Super Bowl 50, and
I know
the sports gods have just been punishing us since.
The Rockies are the only team that don't get injured, and it's like
they cursed us with the stupidest owners in the history of baseball.
Yeah, the history of like sports.
You see the thing today where they're like,
I did, yeah.
They're not going to
trying to contend or something, yeah.
Like if you're going to contend, you have to bring Story back, and John Gray back, and somehow convince Nolan Arenado to come back. And like if you knew this was the direction you wanted to go, why didn't you extend either of them last year? I don't get it. I don't get why they didn't trade any of them either. Because they haven't even like tried to get them back. Do you think they can contend with I don't know. Like
no. Like Chris Owings at second base?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Chichi Gonzalez is our 5th starter. Like, is that really the direction we want the team to be?
Is he still on the team? He better be.
I think he's
probably on the team. Oh, really? Okay.
I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is.
Jesus.
All right, moving on to football, I guess. There were a lot of big games, exciting games, upsets as always. I wanted to start out with the Chiefs and Cowboys, I guess. I feel like we always talk about the Chiefs. They're just kind of an interesting team.
They are. They are.
Um, and it's like the complete switch. Now the defense is impressive, like very impressive. Chris Jones is back at D tackle, which has made the defense obviously a lot better.
It's completely changed their run defense. They aren't giving up anything.
And even the pass rush, he had 3.5 sacks
Yeah.
this game, more than he had all the other games combined. They benched Daniel Sorensen for Juan Thornhill, which Daniel Sorensen's like the worst defender in football. So that was good. L'Jarius Sneed is playing well. I saw he's got 8 tackles for loss this year, which is
wow,
the second most for a corner behind Jalen Ramsey. Frank Clark is making plays now. It's like everyone is just making plays. Everyone just looks quick to the ball. They're making tackles. And I mean, they haven't played like extremely great competition with the Giants offense, which is unimpressive. The Packers with Jordan Love, and then the Cowboys with without Amari Cooper and without Lamb for the second half. But it's not like the Cowboys were doing anything with Lamb in the first half to begin with. And it's not like Michael Gallup or Cedric Wilson aren't like horrible receivers either. And it's been the past month about that this Chiefs defense has been really well. They also pretty much locked up the Tennessee Titans like a month ago. It was more of the offense that was messing that game up for them. So yeah, I'm really impressed with them. The offense is also kind of coming together. I don't think it's like anywhere there yet, but
I even just watching that game, it just felt different. Like you could tell that the team was just like they had like flipped the switch. I heard it during the broadcast. Like, is this a championship switch that they just turned on? Because this team they were too talented to be under 500 for majority of the season. So I mean, I don't know if they're the best team in the AFC, but if they are able to win the division, I'd find it very hard pressed after this run that they're going on to choose another team to go to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Like at the end of the season, if they're still winning games like this and their defense is still playing this good.
Yeah, and with this offense, which is not all the way there yet, which we both think like will be there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to like commit to more of the screens and like reverses and everything, kind of like what San Francisco or Tampa Bay does. But they did score on their first 3 possessions. They couldn't score after that. But Kelsey had that drop that turned into an interception. That would have sealed the game. So it's not fully there. Mahomes isn't fully there, but it's getting there.
It's getting there. And that's honestly that if you can just show progress for a team of that caliber, like they've been having baby steps like the entire season, and I think you can see it from when the first like you can definitely see the difference as to how they're playing as opposed to like the first game and then now. So
the defense just seems so fast. Like Dak was just under pressure the whole time, it felt like. I mean,
when they play at home, this like late in the year, like when it's dark and they play at home, like, it's just you can't do any. It feels like there's nowhere to go for an offense.
Yeah,
it's insane, and it's been like that the last 4 seasons. Like,
it seems like their defense always kind of comes together at the end of the year.
Yeah,
and with that crowd and everything, the weather being cold, like it's hard to move the ball.
That's what good coaching does. Like, if you have good coaching, you're going to be able to figure it out at some point. They are too talented.
Yeah, and Spagnuolo, I think Spagnuolo. I don't know. He's good. He's a good coach, too. And but on the Cowboys side of the ball, I just think like Micah Parsons is just I've never seen anything like this guy, dude. Like one of the best pass rushers on the field, if not even in the NFL. And then he's also one of the best cover linebackers and run defenders and everything too. He's just so fast. I mean,
Athletically,
there's no other linebacker who can cover like that
no.
and rush the passer like that.
Athletically, I've never seen a linebacker like him. Like it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I didn't think he was this good of a pass rusher because like he came out as a middle linebacker, right?
Yeah.
And he has played like almost every position on the field at this point. Like he is ridiculously versatile, and it's kind of like uh, Isaiah Simmons, but like
He's smarter and
he's smarter. He's also being utilized way better
yeah.
than Arizona was. I mean, Isaiah Simmons has been much better this year because they just figured out that he's an athletic beast. But Dallas knew right away, and they've been able to do all this way fast. They figured out that he's good at everything, so they put him in a lot of different situations instead.
I mean, it's like the Kyle Pitts of defense in this draft. I think
that's a great comparison. Yeah, he's just
everywhere.
everywhere.
I'm just looking at the draft now. It's like Carolina probably should have taken him. Denver should have probably taken him. It's not as painful because Patrick Surtain has played really, really well.
Patrick Surtain has probably been the second best defensive rookie in the league,
yeah.
which makes it way better. And but like, man,
Parsons is
he's been the best.
So good.
Is it crazy to say that he's been the best rookie this season?
Yeah, offensively or defensively.
Because like Jamar Chase has been very good, and he's kind of slow. Defenses have started to not figure it out, but they've put way more attention on him. And Micah Parsons has not slowed down one bit the entire season. So,
I mean, you gotta like he's definitely like I think you're talking overall defense. I think he's definitely like top 10 out of everyone in the league right now.
He's just playing like it. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible. And their offense was kind of weird. Like Dak was off again. It felt like, and the receivers were dropping some balls. Especially like Noah Brown had like a couple drops early in the game. They kind of killed him. But I'm not worried about their offense.
No,
I'm worried about the team at all. And
if it's playing the Chiefs at home, it's just impossible to win. Like it's so hard. Like unless some reason, if you're an AFC West opponent, you're going to be able to make it a close game. Like I mean, the Chargers,
the Raiders already play them well.
The Raiders have always played them well there. Denver, even the last 2 or 3 seasons in Kansas City, they've played them pretty well. Like they've
lost all of them, but
they've lost them, but they played them close. That's great. The last time we beat them was in 2015. Oh my god,
it's so sad, dude. We haven't beat Mahomes at all.
Geez, that's so depressing.
I know. There's our Broncos depressing thing of the episode.
Even during the bye week, go back.
God, they're just so bad. All right, another game I wanted to like get into a lot was the Vikings Packers, NFC North showdown.
Yes.
And one crazy stat I heard about was that the Vikings are the only team this year that have had a 7-point lead or more at any point in the game. And they're like 500. That's it. Like that just shows how many like games that they should have won.
Yeah.
They don't.
They should have been like 5-0 to start the year. Like they lost so many games at the last second.
And I mean, they could be a dangerous team, dangerous like playoff contender, maybe NFC like I don't know about NFC Championship, but kind of scary.
I think they could upset a team for sure. They have a lot of talent. Their defense, I mean, they got burned by Aaron Rodgers, but like, who doesn't? And like their defense has been good aside from this game. Their offense has been consistently really good.
Kirk Cousins has been really underrated.
Really good.
But we're going to talk about MVPs. Like, I mean, he might even be.
He could be
way up there.
Yeah, if they make the playoffs, he's going to be like top 6 voted on.
He's not like a quarterback that'll make these like crazy sidearm, off the back foot type of throws like a Rodgers or Mahomes or Josh Allen, but he just hangs in the pocket. He takes hits and he throws accurate balls. And when you got weapons like Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and then a good running game too, like that's a scary offense to deal with. And Kirk Cousins, he's been like shamed, I guess, in his career just because of the shaky primetime games he's had. But I mean, just overall, throughout his whole career, he's been really underrated. And this year, I think he's playing, top tier, almost.
Yeah, this is the best he's played in his entire career, like
Yeah.
this season. He's been really, really good. And like Vikings fans they complain about the offense from what at least I gather is that their play calling sucks. But I don't think that many of them have anything against
They like Kirk Cousins, I think.
Yeah, because I mean
He's clutch too.
Yeah, he's clutch. He's accurate. He has a strong enough arm to get the ball to people. He's smart enough to know when mismatches happen. He's mobile enough to escape things. He has really good pocket presence. Like he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I think there's not many teams in the NFL who would have their quarterback over Kirk Cousins right now.
Yeah, and the game itself was crazy too. Just,
yeah.
I mean, the Vikings kind of dominated the first half, but then
the fourth quarter was insane.
Yeah, the second half was really, really good, and the end of the second quarter, Rodgers had an insane throw to like DeGuara. I forget his first name, or it might be like Josiah DeGuara, where he was like scrambling to his left at the 25-yard line, and DeGuara's 5 yards in the end zone, and he doesn't even like rotate his body at all, and he's scrambling to the left, and he just throws it across the field like that, like 30 yards just on a line, like doesn't even like, like it's not like 6 yards like above the ground. I mean, it's just on a line, and
he's ridiculous. Crazy. His arm strength is like, with how accurate he is, I think he has the best arm in NFL history. Like,
yeah,
it's one thing to have a super strong arm. Like Brett Favre obviously had a really strong arm. Might have the strongest arm in NFL history. Dan Marino has had a really strong arm. But like with how accurate he is at every angle and at every situation, like over the middle and at the corners, on the flats, slant routes, post routes, dig routes. If he's rolling right, if he's rolling left, if he's stepping up and running, anything that he does, he throws it on a line with philosophy. Like there's not any quarterback that I've seen who can do it like that. It's just insane.
There's no one. And I saw another stat where like the only quarterbacks to lose a game with 4 or more touchdown passes and 148 or better passer rating, there's only been 2, is Matt Ryan in 2018 and then Aaron Rodgers yesterday, which is crazy. I thought that defense was like, like breaking into top tier or whatever, but the Vikings really carved them up.
Yeah. And the Vikings normally play the Packers pretty well, especially at home. I've noticed that they've played them really good at home. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers has just been carrying that team. And this is like a classic Aaron Rodgers game.
No run game at all. No defense.
No run game. He has to do everything on his arm, and then his defense lets him down at the last possession. Yeah. It's just like the most.
He was too good in the final 2 minutes where he only needed one play.
He should. If he could take up more time, they would have.
Yeah, that's what
gone overtime.
What the haters.
And then, the interception call getting overturned was weird to me. I thought that was. I don't know. I thought he had an interception. I know he lost control of the ball, but
I'd have to look at it again. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I feel like it was a clear interception, but I mean, regardless, it shouldn't have come down to just one play. Like they should have won way earlier. But
yeah,
I mean, their defense, I think, you could see in this game where they are missing Jair Alexander. Like Jair Alexander, I don't know if he's out for the season or not. Do you know?
I don't think he's out for the year, but
I think it was like a Bradley Chubb situation where like he's hurt, but it'll be like 8 weeks until he's back. I think. This was a game where you could see that because they had to put a lot of attention on Adam Thielen, and Justin Jefferson just tore
Justin
them
Jefferson is
apart.
really,
I mean, he's been having like a pretty underrated season so far.
yeah,
He's
he
been
has.
pretty good, but I mean, it wasn't. What do you have? 1,800 yards last year. It wasn't that. So obviously he's not gonna be that good. But so like he's been really solid. And this game was kind of like this because they had to put so much coverage on Adam Thielen because they didn't have Jared Alexander. Jefferson just said he did whatever he wanted. Um, it was kind of like a welcome to the NFL moment for Eric Stokes.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, been pretty good this season. I think he's been a top 5 defensive rookie this season.
Yeah, he has.
He got that moment where it's just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a rookie still. And it's crazy that came from a second-year player because Justin Jefferson is not much older. He's probably the same age as Eric Stokes, but like he's just on a different level in terms of talent.
Yeah, the past 2 weeks. So last week at the Chargers, Jefferson 9 receptions, 143 yards, and then yesterday 8 receptions, 169 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's really breaking out now this year, and really breaking into superstardom. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to say about Rodgers is I think he's kind of flying under the radar too. I mean, with the whole like COVID thing and everything, he's missed games. But his last 9 games, he's 8-1, 21 touchdowns, 2 picks, 113.2 passer rating, and a pretty good yards per attempt at 8.1. So I think he could be flying under the radar. The MVP race is wide open, and I mean, you can put like Jonathan Taylor in there, Tom Brady, obviously Deebo Samuel. I think I put him in there, and Justin Herbert too. And there's probably some other ones that could, in
There's
the
a
last
lot.
6 games. In the last 6 games, like Mahomes could just go crazy the last 6 games. Dak Prescott could too.
He could shove his way through. Like we talked about this almost every single episode. I feel like, but the NFL just in general is so wide open.
Everything,
especially the AFC, because I thought the Titans were like consensus number 1 in the AFC, but boom, they lose to the Texans, and then I thought, the Bills. We thought the Bills were really good, and they've really struggled the last 2 to 3 weeks. Like there's a lot. And the MVP race is like directly correlated to that as well. Like there's nobody who's like really stood out above everyone else. Like Tom Brady's probably leading the MVP race right now, but I don't know how much, but it's just because he's putting up the best stats. It's not because the Bucs have a crazy good record. It's not because he himself has like crazy good stats. It's just because he has the best stats of any quarterback right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only thing that I can think of, and that they're leading their division. Like I really don't know who the MVP is, but
yeah, I mean, it's hard picking against a quarterback because usually the quarterback wins the MVP, and then a running back or receiver wins Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just with all these quarterbacks really kind of having down years, literally all of them. Kind of like I guess like Matthew Stafford was having a good year, but
yeah, like Stafford's having a good year. Josh Allen
he's fallen off the past couple games too.
Yeah, Josh Allen, Stafford, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of people who you could put into this conversation.
I don't know what it is. Like, is it defenses kind of just figuring out all offenses?
I don't know.
And like,
I really don't
in the
know.
NFL, there's like a constant evolution of the defenses teams run, like it was Seattle and their scheme kind of dominating, and then it was like the offenses, like West Coast offense back in like the 80s, and then now just turning into a lot of these. Now I think it's turning into a lot of these like reverses and wide receiver screens and all that kind of stuff that the Niners run. So yeah, it's interesting.
I think that the 5, I feel like 4 you could 100% put in, which is Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Taylor, and Justin Herbert. But the 5th person could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have Debo Samuel. I think that if the Niners are still going to be good, because they're 5-5 right now, which is kind of going under the radar. Like they haven't been
Oh,
bad.
they're scary right
They're
now.
starting to put it together. So you have Debo Samuel in there. He's their entire offense. Like if Derrick Henry was healthy, I feel like he would have run away with the MVP
Yeah,
just because
for sure.
how good he was. But like I think the Titans are starting to see how important he is because they're not doing very well anymore. Like there's so many people who you can put in there, and then the fifth guy is in terms of the MVP race. Like I have no clue who it can be. I
Mm-hmm.
have zero clue, and that's a very good thing because the league is just so wide open right now.
Yeah. When you look at Jonathan Taylor, he's got over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns already. Obviously, kind of like inflated by this 5 touchdown game he had.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it could be him. I don't even think that accounts for receiving yards. I don't know where to see total scrimmage. He's got 1,400 yards from scrimmage already
Ooh,
and 15 touchdowns.
that's insane.
And he was really like not getting many carries early on in the year too. Like
Yeah, he was
14
no, he
carries,
wasn't. They
16.
were splitting carries with him and Naheem Hines.
Yeah, and even Marlon Mack getting some, and
Yeah,
it's like why?
he's
But then,
averaging 5.8 yards a carry.
eesh,
That's ridiculous.
that
That's
is.
insane. Oh my god.
Yeah, they finally give him the ball a lot last week, and you see what happens. They destroy the Bills.
Yeah.
Um, 32 rushes, 185 yards, and those 5 total touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, could he be leading it? I don't know. I feel like it's right now. It's either like Brady or Taylor. Now that we're more talking about it, maybe Brady and Taylor is the top two guys.
Probably.
But it's like that's so wide open though. Like
Yeah. You can
I don't
you
know.
could 100% make an argument that Aaron Rodgers should be
Yeah,
um over Jonathan Taylor or Brady. You could say that he's in that talk too, just because of how good their record has been. Uh, oh my god, I just have no clue. I have zero clue.
yeah.
Oof.
I want to see if there's like current betting odds. So Tom Brady has the best odds, and then it's Josh Allen, Rodgers. These are literally all quarterbacks. So like, they don't think a single non-quarterback is going to win MVP.
I find it hard to believe
Yeah, I do too.
that Derrick Henry injury really screwed up like everything, not just for the Titans, but like for the league.
Mm-hmm.
Is that now that the hierarchy for MVP and the top team in the AFC is just
Yeah.
all over the place. There's no one has any like oof.
I mean, even the maybe like the best team in the AFC, probably playing like the best team in the AFC. If you want to go back to our picks from last week, is the team that played Thursday, the Patriots. I mean,
Yeah.
their run game has been really good. The defense is making a ton of plays, and Mac Jones is consistent. We say that like every week, I think.
Yeah.
And it plays out like that every week. So yeah, I mean, even they could be leading that AFC race right now. I think they just jumped the Bills, right?
They did, yeah. They're leading the division now because the Bills are. Let me check.
They're 6-4.
Bills
I
are
think.
6-4, New England 7-4. So
Yeah,
that's crazy. The
crazy.
Bills started off what 5-0, right? No, 5-1.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
Dude, the Patriots really are just primed for another dynasty, bro.
That pains so much.
Yeah. At least it's not Tom Brady though.
Yeah, it's uh. Oh my god.
Yeah, they pretty much dominated the Falcons on Thursday, and then the Ravens Bears. I was mad about this game.
The Bears should have won this game
Yeah, and
so
Justin
easily.
Fields getting hurt makes me sad too. Makes everyone sad. But yeah, the Bears. I mean, Matt Nagy's just an idiot.
They were chanting "Fire Matt Nagy" at the Bulls game today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
The Bulls game.
the Bulls game.
But this is the one drive I wanted to bring up. So it was in the third quarter. The Bears are leading 7-6. Okay, so 6 points for the Ravens. And this is late in the third quarter too. So the Ravens can't score this whole game. They got the backup quarterback in who hasn't been able to throw the whole game until like the very last play. But it's 4th and 1 at the Chicago 49. And you got Andy Dalton in the game. And it's like, why? Like, why do you go for this? At 4th and 1 at year 49, I would say with the way that the Ravens offense has been playing, I would say punt it down to inside the 10-yard line. The defense has been dominating, then get that field position back.
Yeah.
With less time on the clock. This is actually in the fourth quarter. This is
in the fourth?
Yeah, this is 12:26 in the fourth. And why are you going for this with Andy Dalton and just punt it down there?
What was the play that they ran? Was it?
It was a direct. Yeah, it was a wildcat to Montgomery. It's like, okay, Montgomery lining up at quarterback. I wonder what the play is. See a run.
I don't understand when it's 4th and short, and teams don't just do quarterback sneaks. Like, why would you turn it around and hand the ball off 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage when you could when you have a guy who's 6'4", 6'5", just to go, first down.
Dude, when these college offenses run, like shotgun every single play, and it's like 4th and inches, it's like, come on, man. Like,
just go under center and just do a sneak. Like, I get like the quarterback might not be comfortable with it, but it's one play. You get it and you dive. It's really not that hard.
I mean, I don't hate going for it at 4th and 1. Obviously, like, I think that's, a good call for any other team in the league, but it's the Bears and it's the Ravens with a backup quarterback who can't move the ball. Just punt it down there. Let your defense do the work. The Ravens didn't end up doing anything with it really because Huntley threw a pick. But you could have gotten that pick inside like their 20-yard line.
Yeah.
And then, made it like 14-6. But yeah.
No, the Bears are just so dumb. Like, I wonder how Justin Fields would be performing if he was in Denver because, like, because the Bears might be they might have the most dysfunctional coaching staff right now.
Yeah.
But,
and like the most like basic offensive play calling.
Like the Broncos might be second worst. So like everyone keeps saying like, oh, the Broncos should have drafted Fields, and you're right, we probably should have, but would he be doing much better than he is right now with Pat Shurmur instead of Matt Nagy calling plays? I really don't know.
I don't know. You got a lot better weapons in Denver.
You do.
And a better offensive line and better running game.
That is true.
But yeah, I still wouldn't trust Shurmur and Fangio to use Fields correctly, like at all.
Yeah.
Like I just can't see Shurmur running like a quarterback designed run or anything like that.
No. No way.
Yeah. So the Bears, they seem like they're always like kind of in games, and then Matt Nagy just messes everything up. So yeah, he's gone probably after the end of the year. Vikings, Packers. I picked the Packers. You picked the Vikings. Talked about that. Colts, Bills. I actually picked the Colts. I'm proud of myself for that.
I thought the Bills would bounce back. I really did. Yeah. This is such a bad game for the Bills.
It was.
Oh, I think they're going into their bye. No, they're not going into the bye.
Oh, that's the last thing I wanted to say about the Bears. In the past 8 years, coming off a bye, they haven't won.
In 8 years?
In 8 years, they have not won off of a bye week.
What?
It goes past Matt Nagy, but Matt Nagy's been there for what, like 6 of them? So,
oh my God.
Dude, 8 years they haven't won off a bye week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, 8 years. I don't think. Oh, and the Bills have a short week. They play Saints on the road on
This
Thanksgiving.
Thursday?
Yeah, on Thanksgiving.
I haven't
Oh,
seen.
that sucks.
Yeah.
They have their bye already?
Have they?
They.
Yeah, they had it week 7.
Oh, okay.
They're 6-4. Yeah, they haven't played 11.
Okay.
Um,
But that they if they can't beat the Saints, the
yeah,
Saints could win because they're at home.
it's
That's gonna be a
literally
rough game.
all Josh Allen for this
Yeah,
offense, and they have absolutely no running game. And then the Colts running game, on like the complete flip side, is like one of the best in the league now.
yeah.
And the Bills defense couldn't stop any of that.
Oh my gosh. Oh Jesus. Why am I so tired? I slept through my class today. I don't even know why I'm tired.
I took a nap like 3 hours ago.
3 hours? You took a nap.
I know. I didn't like mean to, but I just fell asleep. It was only like 30 minutes, but I'm awake now.
Oh man. Like I say, Browns. They played who?
They played a bad team.
Lions. They played Detroit.
Yeah. And they only won what, 13-10?
They didn't. They won. 13-10. That like.
I think the Browns are just not good anymore.
Yeah, they're 6-5, and
Yeah.
they're 4-2 at home, which is a pretty good record. But
It's like, man, that team is just way too talented to just be struggling in games.
So yeah, Austin Hooper had 53 yards receiving, and he was their leading receiver.
I mean, they have no passing game. Like we said, it was all Josh Allen for the Bills. Like this is all Nick Chubb for the Browns.
Except at 22 carries, 130 yards,
Mm-hmm.
and running touchdown, like a wildcat touchdown or something. But that's just, oh my god.
I don't know what, like Baker Mayfield's got to be really hurt. I think he called out the Browns fans in the. I don't know if you saw it, like in a post game interview. He was like,
all about booing them. Yeah. Like, dude, you clearly hurt. You had a 53 quarterback rating.
Dude, I don't get the players who get mad at getting booed. It's like when you're getting booed, you deserve to get booed.
Yeah,
like
it means you
if
suck.
I'm a player and I'm getting booed, it's like, yeah, we should like look at it from a fan's perspective. And that booing is definitely justified when you're only beating the Lions by 3.
Yeah. At least Baker Mayfield's not Jared. Oh, it was Tim Boyle. I thought it was Jared Goff.
Oh yeah, Tim Boyle.
I would have been like, what? Because Tim Boyle had 15 for 23, 77 yards.
2 picks.
So Tim Boyle wasn't even good in college. He went to he was at 3 different colleges, and I don't think he ever had a winning record.
And he always had
13
a
to 10 interception or touchdown interception.
Yeah.
He was not good. How is he in the NFL?
I don't know. I think just purely based on like potential arm talent is like okay, but he's dumb.
Oh my god, the Lions are just in a horrible spot. They have DeAndre Swift though. He's been absolute tank this season.
The defense isn't too bad too, with like the defensive line, like young guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think like Levi Onwuzurike, whatever his name is, isn't bad.
They have good potential. I wouldn't say that they have a good team, but I think
they got a little bit of talent on the defensive side.
Oh, they have Steven Montez. They need to start my guy.
They do. Colorado.
I didn't even know he left.
What was that other Colorado quarterback's name before Montez? He went to like the Bucks, I remember.
Oh yeah, Sefo Lufau.
Yeah.
Oh. The 1 year they were good. He had like the season of his career.
Damn, this dude looks like he's like 50 years old, bro.
Tim Boyle?
No, Sefo Lufau.
Oh.
Like just look at his first picture on Google. He just like posted up at some like farm. He just looks like a 50-year-old man.
Oh, he does. It looks like my uncle.
Yeah, it's funny. Cephalufa brought up in the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Panthers played the Washington team. It was Cam Newton's first game back, and he actually looked pretty good. Really good, actually.
I thought his arm looked great.
Yeah. But that's kind of what it usually is with Cam. Like, it'll like wear down as it gets later on in the year. But maybe because he only has to play like 6 or 7 games this year, that arm won't break down.
They really needed to win this game. The Carolina had to. If they won, they would have been 6-5. Like I think they're going into their bye week this week actually. No, they're not. Their bye week is after their next game, so they could have, and they play the Dolphins next. So if they could have gone in the bye week 2 games over 500, I would have had them pegged like as a playoff team.
Oh yeah, they got the Dolphins, the Falcons.
They have a pretty forgiving schedule
coming
up. They play actually no, they don't. Jesus, they go Dolphins, Falcons, but then it's Bills, Bucks, Saints, Bucks.
Oof.
Oh God! So they had to be 2 games over 500 because they might not.
Yeah.
Be above 500 for long.
Yeah. Terry McLaurin kind of just destroyed the Panthers.
Oh yeah.
This game.
Yeah.
What do you have? 5 reception, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Taylor Heineke has been pretty dang good the last.
Better than any Broncos quarterback the past like 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, he has been pretty good last 3 games. So he played against Denver and he went 24 of 39, 270 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks, but one of them was just a Hail Mary at the end of the game. He has been taking a lot of sacks. Took 5 in that game. He took 5 in the next game, which they won, where he went 26-32 for 256 yards and a touchdown. I'm pretty sure he had a rushing touchdown that game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then this game against Carolina, which is just he had a 141 QB rating, 16 of 22, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and 92 QBR.
I saw it made a really good play. I think it might have been a 4th down. It could have been a 3rd down, but he had to like scramble out to his left, and then he made a defender miss, and then he threw it like sidearm for a couple.
Yeah.
First down. He is like a hooper.
Yeah, that's all I can describe him as. It's just he's a hooper.
And that's kind of what the sack show too. Like he's just always trying to make these plays.
Yeah.
I think. What is the football team's record? What are they, like 4-6?
They're 4-6, so I don't think they have a chance. But
out of it.
Yeah, he turned the ball over.
Needed to win that.
Huh?
The Panthers needed to win that.
They needed to win. They really needed to win. Christian McCaffrey had a good game. Like they played good. And Cam didn't play horrible. Like they had a good. They can't keep relying on Christian McCaffrey to be their offense.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson has to be better.
What did DJ Moore? What has he done recently?
He had 5 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. So not like horrible, but still, I mean, he also needs to be better. But
he looked like the best receiver in football after those first 4 weeks.
Yeah, he looked incredible.
He hasn't gone over 100 since.
Yeah, he looked incredible. But just in general, like they're Carolina's offense is just not good.
Yeah, Joe Brady is like overrated.
He's not good.
He really just was lucky to have Burrow, Jefferson, Chase, Clyde.
Yeah.
At LSU.
The DJ Moore, he had 6 catches, 80 yards first game. Then he had what? Oh yeah, he missed game 1. I forgot. But he had 6 catches, 80 yards first game. Then he had 8 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown the second game. Then against Houston, he had 8 catches, 126 yards. And then against Dallas, he had 8 catches, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So,
Yeah.
but since then, the most he's had in a game is 73. Like, he hasn't even gotten close to 100, which is really bad. Like, really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's also had to deal with Sam Darnold's
Yeah.
incompetency.
Yeah. Sam Darnold and PJ Walker for a game and a half.
Mm-hmm. Titans, Texans. I mean, this is just, it's so weird how these bad teams like just keep beating.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I really don't know how it worked.
I mean, this was like kind of fluky. Like, I'm not worried about the Titans because they lost to the Texans. Like, the weather was really bad. I mean, it was a downpour.
Yeah.
They had a muffed punt that gave the Falcons, the Texans, field position inside the Titans 5, and then a couple Tannehill picks. I think one in the end zone, and then a miss on 4th and 1, 2. Kind of killed them. So I'm not worried about it. And yeah, without Derrick Henry, though, I think this offense is here. I have a stat.
Man, Julio Jones is on IR, I'm pretty sure, too. So they
Yeah.
really their only weapon on offense is AJ Brown.
And he was banged up.
Yeah.
But the people who say like Henry just like takes advantage of like this offensive line and like how good of an offensive line is or whatever, like he always needs like space, I guess. It's just so stupid. It's like here, the 8 games with Derrick Henry, they were averaging 28 points per game. Without him, 21 points per game. So that's a whole touchdown. And then rush yards a game with Derrick Henry, 147. Without, 79.
Double the rushing amount. That's crazy.
Yards per rush with Derrick Henry, 4.5. Without, 3.0. And then plays of 20-plus yards with Derrick Henry, 27. Without Derrick Henry, 3.
If he didn't get hurt, he would have been running away with the MVP.
Yeah.
Like, we had a whole segment dedicated to him. We were just like gushing over him because he was going to get 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Like, that's what he was on pace for. And their offense is just so bad. And I think he has a chance to come back for playoffs, if I'm not
I think so, yeah.
mistaken. But I wouldn't rush him because if he gets hurt again and he's out for next season too, like you're screwed. So they need something explosive. I don't know where they're gonna get it, but they need something explosive.
Yeah, I mean he just set up their whole passing game too.
Yeah.
And now that you don't have Derrick Henry to worry about, you got like Dante Freeman, I think, is their running back, and Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So hopefully he's back for the playoffs, because if he is back for the playoffs, I could see this team going in the Super Bowl with how wide open the AFC is.
Yeah, legitimately.
So yeah, I'm not worried about them. That was just kind of a fluky game. The Texans defense really isn't that bad. It's just the offense is horrendous, but
yeah.
And then the next game, Niners against the Jags.
Yeah. This was the Niners, like, they have a couple wins against good teams, but most of their wins are just against like horrible teams. And then their losses are just really close to good teams. We were talking about them earlier. Like, they're 5-5 right now. They're quietly starting to put it together. We talked about Deebo Samuel. He's been their entire offense with, Mostert going down with injury. Elijah Mitchell has also been going down with injury. They're like, the fact that they're 5-5 is pretty good. Like, if they can start to just get healthier and start to put it together a little bit, they could be a dark horse in the NFC as well.
For sure, yeah.
It's just along with the Vikings, just because of how much talent they have on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the defense is always solid. And yeah, Deebo Samuel, like, this is what I'm talking about too. It's like he only had 1 reception this game for 15 yards, but then you look at rushing and he had 8 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. It was a big touchdown too. Like, he broke a couple tackles. Like, Tyshawn Raekwon Samuel is really just their whole offense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Niners could definitely go on a hot streak. And Dolphins against the Jets. I really didn't watch a single thing of this game,
I watched.
except Tua had like a 60-yard pass to
Yeah,
a wide open guy.
yeah. Threw his entire body into the throw.
I know.
It's like a mailman throw, I think is what it's called in baseball, where you like fall over as you throw
Yeah,
it. So
and he only threw it like 40 yards in the air. Or something.
yeah. That was funny to watch, but he's been decent.
Jalen Waddle's been good.
He has
10 receptions, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, wait. Oh my God, I'm looking at October 17th. Why is this the game that shows up? I'm like, wait, the Jaguars won this game? Wait, they didn't play the Jags. They played the Jets.
They played the Jets, yeah.
Okay. I'm tripping.
It's late. We're tired.
Yeah. Well, Waddle almost had 10 receptions, so my stat kind of still works. 8 receptions, 65 yards.
Yeah, he's been good. He's going to be really good for him. If they can just get some more consistency at quarterback, that'll be really good.
Mm-hmm. He threw a really bad interception.
Tua did?
Yeah. His
interceptions are just horrible. Like they're not even close. They're just so bad.
I feel like we're always hating on Tua. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, and he has talent. He's just like, and the Dolphins need more talent around him as well.
Yeah.
Like they need another. I think they do need another receiver. I think they would be really dumb not to go receiver in the draft, but like they also need a running back. Like they need a lot.
I mean, they need everything
to make him good.
Yeah. The Eagles against the Saints. This was like surprise. I was surprised, even though I picked the Eagles. I didn't expect him to just completely dominate the Saints like this.
Kill him like this. I mean, it was like kind of close. I think it was a one possession game not late in the fourth, but like at some point in the fourth, it was a one possession game.
Mm-hmm.
But Jalen Hurts, man, he has really impressed me the last month.
And that running game too. I mean, it's crazy. What did they had like over 200 yards on the game.
Saints are the best rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They had like 250 rushing yards against them. It was unbelievable.
I mean, it's like when you talk about like best like run offenses, like you'll say the Eagles, the Browns, the Patriots,
the Colts,
and the Colts. Yeah. And I mean, the Eagles, with how they've been running the ball this past month and more, I mean, they could be the best like running team in the league, and that's always scary to face.
Yeah.
I mean, you put over 200 rushing yards against the best rushing defense in the league, and all those big guys the Saints have on the defensive side, the defensive line, like you can run against anyone.
Yeah. They ran all over Denver. That's why they won the game.
Yeah.
They just got chunks and chunks and chunks on every play.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't even need like studs at the position too.
No, they have Jordan Howard and Boston Scott.
The offensive line is just huge. Like when you look through it, like Lane Johnson, I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head as I look it up.
Lane Johnson, I know Jason Kelsey is their center.
Yeah, they got a Hawaiian last name.
Oh yeah, I'm not even trying to pronounce his last name.
Jordan Mailata. I mean, just huge team, and
you don't even when you run the ball like that, like you don't even need Jalen Hurts to play good. Like he was throwing the ball, he was like man, but it's just running the ball. He's just he's like a Cam Newton light when he runs the ball. He runs so effortlessly, and he's just massive. So he's so hard to take down. He doesn't shy away from contact. Like he's not a normal quarterback at all.
And when you got the running game going like that, that leaves matchups for Devontae Smith, who's been playing really well.
Yep.
Dallas Goedert going one-on-one. So yeah, I mean, this Eagles team, the defense really isn't horrible too.
Darius Slay has been
incredible
this season, like the whole year, and he's had 3 touchdowns the last 2 games. He's had 3 touchdowns the last 3 games, and the Lions have had 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games total. So, like, he's been incredible for him. So they're like, say dark horse a lot, but like they're
I think
4-7. But if they can keep it,
they're 5-6.
5-6, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So if they can if they can start to get going, even they could be the dark horse in the
I
NFC.
know.
There's a lot of talent in the NFC.
Yeah. And for the Saints side of things, like they're 5-5, and I think they're going the wrong way.
You can
right now.
see the difference in quarterback play.
Yeah,
Like,
you
Simeon
definitely
is
can.
he's just not.
I mean,
having it
the
right
Saints just can't score. I think it's the past like 2 games, 3 games even. They just can't score in the
No.
first half at all. Like they put up 22 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they only scored 6 points against the Titans in the first half, and they scored none against the Falcons in the first half, and then they only scored 7 in the first half against the Eagles. So yeah, you can really see the difference, and I'm like intrigued. Maybe Taysom Hill just signed that big contract.
Yeah. Didn't
What
they
if you
sign
put
him
him
to
at
a
cornerback?
huge deal just this season too?
What?
They signed him to a huge deal this season too, right? Like in the offseason?
Oh, I think they did actually.
So did they just extend him on top of that deal? Like, is he now under like an 8-year contract or something?
It might be a unique 4-year extension. I don't know.
So I swear he signed a deal in the offseason. Or is
Yeah,
this just
I
a
feel
deal
like.
that they reported on?
Oh, maybe. But I feel like he did. Like, I feel like he signed maybe like a one. I don't know, like some sort of deal in the offseason.
He's under contract for a long time now, and he's like
Yeah.
31. So I don't know what they're doing.
On other big contract news, the Broncos made 2 big signings, which I'm really happy about.
Yes.
Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton locking up the big receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have them, Jerry Jeudy, and KJ Hamler for the next at least 3 years, I think? 2 years?
At least the next 2 years.
2 years.
At least the next 2 years. Which is, that's very good. That's very
good. I was scared. I was scared that when Peyton signed Patrick, it would be like, oh, he's just going to ignore Cortland Sutton when Cortland Sutton is like very receiver. Clearly better, I think.
Yeah. And you can see it in their contract. Like Patrick got 3 years, like 35 million or something.
Yeah.
And Sutton got 4 years, 60.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 extra year on his deal, he got 30 million more. So you could see that they thought that too, which is good. I saw that they were negotiating them at the same time. It's just Patrick's got done quicker, which I'm assuming is because it's less money and it was just easier to negotiate since he's undrafted and he probably just has less.
I think
to take care of in a contract.
Tim Patrick's contract puts him in between Jarvis Landry and someone else. It's a really good
No, that was Sutton. Sutton's puts him in between Landry and Robbie Anderson, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think he's better than both of those guys by a mile. So
yeah, for sure.
He's been really, really good this season. Last few games he hasn't been good, but just gotta get him the ball.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks haven't been getting him the ball, so
yeah,
he just do that, we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. So and this really this is the first time George Payton has signed anyone.
Yeah.
Or extended anyone at least, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.
I'm happy with just how he's been.
Yeah.
Been just how he's been in general. Like he is the biggest thing that I really like about him is that he's aggressive. Like he knows what he wants, and I think that signing these 2 guys is huge because it shows that we're gonna make a move at quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And it's not wildly aggressive. It's little moves like trading a 6th rounder for Kenny Young, and now he's the best linebacker on the team.
Yeah.
And just making other moves like that. Like he always, when he was in Minnesota, they always liked getting late round draft picks. And yeah, I think this draft will be really telling how this offseason will be really telling how he's viewing this team and how aggressive he really is. Will there be a play for Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or will they draft a quarterback, or will they just stick with Teddy? We will see.
Oh. What's the next game?
The Bengals at the Raiders. And
Bengals kind of dominated this game.
Yeah.
The Raiders have just been this is classic Raider fashion. This literally the 3rd straight year where they start off really good and it's just
and the Raiders offense is really taking a hit.
Horrible.
Big time.
And it's coincided with what happened with Henry Ruggs. Like,
Yeah, and John Gruden too, really.
yeah, like once they went out, there's just nothing there anymore.
Yeah.
The worst, like they did it to themselves. Like it wasn't anything else. Like it was their fault, which
Hmm.
is
I mean,
very
there's just nothing like positive to say about them, really.
yeah.
Joe Mixon had a crazy game. 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Joe Burrow really didn't even have to do much at all, and they still put up 32.
Yeah.
He
If
only
they
had
can keep him
140.
protected, I think
Yeah,
that team is still dangerous in terms of playoff wise. Like if they can just keep him on his feet, they'll be all right because they have a decent amount of weapons.
hmm
They have a decent amount. I think they'll be good. Um, yeah. We should probably speed through these. It's already 10:40.
yeah. The Cowboys Chiefs. We talked about that. You picked the Chiefs. I took the Cowboys. Seahawks against the
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah, this was concern for the Seahawks. It might be like Russell Wilson's really like he might be gone,
This might be his deciding factor.
and,
Yeah.
and Pete Carroll really.
Yeah.
But I mean, the team just isn't good. I think Russell Wilson's lost a lot of speed. Like you're not seeing him make any of these wild plays
Yeah.
anymore. They can't run the ball. They have no defensive line. They have no offensive line. They have no corners. They have no linebackers. Jamal Adams is like the only like good player on the defense.
Yeah.
And I think Cliff Kingsbury deserves a lot of credit for the game plan with Colt McCoy and how he's been able to change it. They've been patient with the running game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is a huge win for Arizona because I know they lost last week. I don't remember who they lost to, but I know
they lost to not the Niners. Who did they lose to?
It was the Niners. Let's see.
It was the Panthers.
Panthers, yeah. Yeah, they lost to the Panthers, and it really wasn't close. They got blown out at home. Bad loss. So they come out here on the road in Seattle, which is a really hostile environment. They dominate. Colt McCoy, I did not know he had that in him. Like he was throwing dimes left and right, like on the run, in the pocket. He was making plays with his feet. He was calling his own number with like quarterback draws. It was insane. I did not know that he could do that. At all. So good on them. It's good that they can get Kyler Murray a lot of rest too. Same with DeAndre Hopkins and get wins without them. Because once they come back, that team is just so much more dangerous.
For sure. Cardinals are good. I feel like we kind of like don't talk about them as much as they deserve.
Yeah, and we've been talking about like if they're gonna decline, if they're gonna
decline.
I don't know if it's gonna
happen.
They just
haven't. I don't think it will happen. Yeah.
They've been really, really good.
Chargers Steelers at the Chargers. This was a really good game.
I only watched the last like 5 minutes. I saw it was 20-34 with like 7 minutes left.
And I thought it was over.
It's over. And then I got a notification. It's like, oh, with 2:34 left or something.
It's tied. And I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah.
Especially after that 4th and 1 stop that they got, I was like, the Steelers are winning this, 100%. But the Chargers defense played really good in the last couple possessions.
Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger he's been like really good actually.
He has been. His arm strength kind of just like came back. Like I don't know where it came from, but it's back. Herbert has been just incredible. It's just a really good win for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers were missing a lot of players on the defensive side.
They had nothing running wise.
Yeah,
Najee Harris had 39 yards, and he was the lead.
It feels like that's always he's gonna have like 18 carries for like 40 yards every game. It feels like.
Yeah. Deontay Johnson has been really good this season. I know he had a lot of drop problems last year. He only has 1 drop on the whole season. It's 7 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. Chase Claypool had a good game.
Yeah.
Ebron had a touchdown. They haven't used him like at all.
I know. But yeah, the Steelers, no TJ Watt, no Minkah Fitzpatrick, no Joe Hayden. And That's
That's a lot.
probably why they lost.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like that Mike Williams touchdown at the very end. I mean, that was just completely like blown coverage
Yeah,
with these young guys.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, Chargers. What are they now? 6-5, 5-5.
They're 6-4.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I think they're the 6th seed right now. Let me check. They are, yeah, the Chargers are the 6th seed. So they're just barely in.
Well, this is a huge game. Broncos Chargers next week.
Oh yeah. Whoever wins this game, I think, is going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Buccaneers, Giants. That happened tonight. I mean, just a blowout.
Yeah.
Giants couldn't do anything. And yeah. All right. So for our picks for next week, bring up this.
Oh my gosh, completely forgot. I went 11-4. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that's good. Is that your best week? I feel like it is.
It has to be. There's no way I could have gotten any better.
Mm-hmm. I went 9-6.
It's all good. Right. It's still a good week.
Yeah.
Good week. We needed to bounce back after the last couple weeks.
For sure.
Really struggled. So.
All right. So there's 3 Thanksgiving games on Thursday. So Bears at Lions at 10:30.
Oh my God.
I think
they always have to play the worst teams are the oldest teams.
I know.
Always have to play
why do the Lions get a Thanksgiving game like every year? I don't get it. All right. Justin Fields is out, and
I mean, Andy Dalton has been better than Justin Fields.
It's the Lions.
It has to be the Bears.
Raiders at the Cowboys. I mean, I'm going Cowboys. I'm gonna expect like a Cowboys blowout. I think they're gonna be mad.
Raiders play on Thanksgiving. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are gonna be mad and just destroy the Raiders. Bills at the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Bills just because like the Saints' strength is stopping the run, and the Bills don't run the ball. So
that is fair. I'm gonna go with the Saints because they need to win, and I think the Bills are reeling too much. They're both reeling. But...
Steelers at the Bengals. This is another really important game.
This is at Bengals. You know what? I'm gonna go Steelers because the Bengals won in Pittsburgh earlier in the year. But there's a completely different team now. I think so. I think Steelers gonna bounce back.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I don't know why. I don't know, but I just will. Panthers at the Dolphins. The Dolphins have won 3 in a row. I'm actually tempted to pick the Dolphins.
I'm gonna go Panthers. Wow, that's 3 different picks already in the first 5 games.
Eagles at the Giants. I mean, I think the Eagles have been playing really well. So, Titans at the Patriots.
Ooh. Oh, this is a huge game, man. This should be Thanksgiving game. Bears Lions. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna go Patriots. They're too hot.
Yeah, they are.
And without a run game, that secondary is just lethal.
Mm-hmm. Falcons, Jags. Okay. I'll go with the Falcons, I guess.
Going Jags.
Okay.
Calling it.
Buccaneers, Colts. Dude, I'm riding the Colts.
Me too. Is it in Indy?
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Brady doesn't win in Indy. He doesn't. He does not win in Indy. So I'm going Colts. Riding the bandwagon.
Yes, Colts look really good. Jets, Texans. Ooh, what a fun matchup here.
Game of the year right there.
Hopefully Zach Wilson plays. I'm going to go with the Texans.
Oh my God. I'm going Jets.
All right. Chargers, Broncos. I got to go with the Chargers because I want the Broncos to win, so I'll pick the Chargers.
Same. I think the Chargers don't play well against us in Denver.
Yeah.
Like they never have.
That is definitely true.
So,
but it's just
what it is.
God, it's the Broncos.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but we should. I don't know. The Chargers are better than 6-4 though, so they'll probably win.
And we're probably worse than 5-5 to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. We're like 3-7.
Vikings at the Niners. Ooh, this is a good game.
Oh, this is huge for both of them because they're both 5-5.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's going to be a close game because the Vikings always playing close games.
yeah, it's not gonna
It's
be a
just
blowout.
who
That
is
makes it
going
that makes it harder.
to not choke.
I'm gonna go Vikings.
I'm going to go Niners because they have Robbie Gold and the Vikings have Greg Joseph.
It'll come down to a field goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Rams. Ooh, here we go. Rams, Packers.
Oh,
We didn't say about the Packers, but their interior offensive lineman Elkton Jenkins is out for the year.
oh, he's in. I thought he was their left tackle.
I think he's a guard.
Oh, that sucks. I thought it was their backup for Bakhtiari.
No, this guy's a stud. He made the All-Pro team last year.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron Donald is gonna.
Oh, that's true.
Is it in Green Bay?
It is at Green Bay. LA players used to the LA weather going up to Wisconsin.
This is a Sunday night game, I'm assuming.
It's not. Sunday day game. 2:25 our time.
Oh my God. Schedule makers.
I know.
Come on.
Please just start flexing games.
Yeah. Heck.
Man, I have no idea. I'm gonna say the Packers.
I'm gonna go Packers. The Rams have to win this game, but I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is playing really well.
I think it's that defense. The Packers defense is just
other than last
Rams
week.
offense doesn't look like it has anything.
Yeah. So. All right, the Sunday night game, Browns Ravens. Lamar should be healthy for this.
Yeah, he was just sick. He wasn't even hurt.
Yeah.
It's good for them. I'm gonna go Ravens.
I am too. It's at the Ravens.
Yeah. My last time these two teams played was like insane. Last year.
Oh, I know.
Lamar duked himself and came back into the game.
All these games are. I remember like a Will Hill like blocked punt.
Yeah.
Browns. All right, Monday night game. Seahawks. Why? Seahawks Washington.
What?
Yeah.
You couldn't have flexed.
I think the Seahawks are really, really like down horrible right now. I'm gonna go with the Washington team.
You know what? Screw it. So lie. Russell Wilson in Denver.
Let's go.
On the bandwagon. He's gonna bring Tyler Lockett with him. And Pete Carroll.
And TK Metcalf. Yeah, Pete Carroll.
Bring everyone. Right. And then get Bill Gates to buy Broncos.
Or Mark Cuban.
Yes. Or Jay-Z. Someone, please.
Jeff Bezos even. I don't care. Someone just buy the team.
Jeff Bezos is going to make us a flying stadium. Like,
I know.
They're going to be like, oh, we're going to relocate where? It's in space.
In the air.
Stadium on the moon.
Levitating stadium. We're going to get like Amazon packages of like new footballs every drive.
Yeah. Yeah. They just need someone to sell. The bowling thing is going on too long. It's just, at this point, it's like disrespectful to Pat.
Yeah.
It's going on like this.
I really think it like this whole like horrible era of the Broncos is just because of the ownership.
Yeah.
It just all stems from there.
Yeah. I like it. It really sucks. It's like a horrible situation when you like think about it. It's just like the family of like
brothers and sisters like fighting each other.
It's so dumb. The only thing I hope that like the insane brother doesn't get, because if he gets ownership, then we're screwed.
Yeah.
Because he says like I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get Deshaun Watson on the Broncos. I'm like, let's pump the brakes, bro. And he also like is racist and like says the N-word. Like,
oh really?
He's like, let's not let that guy get it.
Yeah.
This is a horrible situation.
It is.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it. Kind of a depressing end and beginning to this episode. I don't know if we're going to do one next week. I will not be here when we normally record it on Mondays. So I'm not really sure what the plan is next week. Maybe we'll get it out. Maybe it'll be a little later. So we'll see. We'll try and get one out, but not really sure. So hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, see you next time. Peace.
Peace.